Welcome into Sports Talk with Theo, Dorsey. South Georgia, let's talk sports. Albany State softball didn't just win its first conference championship since 2013. They did it in dominating fashion. The Lady Rams ran the table in the conference from the regular season through the tournament, and on May 5th, they took down Kentucky State 4-3 for the program's 6th SIAC championship. That was the cherry atop Amber Barker's second season leading the Lady Rams. As her squad made the journey to the title look easy, it's important to remember every championship season has a story, and Coach Barker joined Sports Talk for the second time ever to tell their tale right here in the city where they were crowned. Welcome to the show, Coach Barker.
Yes.
Thanks for coming again, and again, congratulations on that championship season.
Thank you for having me again.
Of course,
Thank you for having me.
And I know it looked like you guys had a cakewalk if anybody looks at the records. But if you actually broke it down and looked at the way some of these games turned out, it was anything but, especially in the actual SIAC tournament. We can look at the game you guys had against Lane right here.
Right.
You had 4 straight games. The run differential was 12-7, and your last 3 games, including the championship, were all 1-run games.
Yes.
Can you describe to me how that is winning those kind of games in a tight battle like that?
I mean, it's great when you win them. During them, it's very much a ton of pressure, and there's a lot of sweating. There's a lot of internal dialogue going on, but you have to stay calm, for the team. But I think it really is a tribute to what we did all throughout the year, really more so the beginning of the year. We brought out some wins and some close games. So we had done it before. It's fun to end up on that end, the winning end, but it's pretty nerve-wracking.
I could imagine. And for you all to do it, another thing that gets understated, you were able to do it here in Albany.
Yes.
One of y'all's first times hosting the tournament since I don't even know what year, but you hosted on baseball and softball side. You win both of them. How much more of an energy does it give the team to be able to do it in the Good Life City?
It was huge just to be able to be at home, do it at home. I say that, we were able to sleep in our own beds, and wake up and go do our regular routine. We got to hit batting practice like we normally do. It felt like we were just at home having a home game, obviously not at our field, but just something about being home in Albany, having our fans, both family and friends, and then other student body. It was huge to have all that support behind us.
All right, that's right. You guys won it right there at the Gordon Sports Complex here in Albany. And let's take a look at your season at a glance, though, just looking at some of the numbers, because, again, this is where we talk about, if anybody looks at this, they'll say, well, that was a cakewalk. You look at 19-0 in the SIAC, as well as you ran the table in the tournament. 29-24 overall record. We'll talk about how you guys started off a little later in the show.
Okay.
But then again, this is something else. I mean, I think this is more, as I look at the records, the home and away record, it looked like more of a function of which teams y'all played at home.
Right.
Than it was that you guys didn't put on a show for the home crowd.
Absolutely. And we brought a lot of tough competition in. That was purposely done so that we could get more people out to the game, so that we could host some of these big name teams, some of these teams that we saw that made it to regionals. That was purposely done. And we want to hit against better competition. We want to face better competition. So it's not really a surprise that we had a tougher schedule at the beginning. It's not really a surprise that we had tougher competition come in. Really part of the plan. And I think our players did a great job of just battling against whoever we played, whether it was home or away.
Definitely so. And then I want to speak to, again, going back to home, you won that SIAC title at home. And the other importance to doing it in Albany was the fact that was graduation day.
Yeah, it was. It was graduation. That's fun to see. Oh, man, we were able to make it to graduation. So we had 3 players graduated, all with some kind of starting roles. 2 of them, Demisha Russell and Danielle Turner, graduated in the morning, came back and played, helped us win that championship game. Literally, I mean, Demisha came in pretty clutch as well. And then we had Kiana Dawson, who played all year, but she graduated in the afternoon, was not able to make it to the championship game. But what a tribute to our players. Right after we were done, yay, holding that trophy up, everybody's celebrating. They get right over to the stadium and watch her graduate. So it goes back to that tougher together. That was our motto this year. So it was huge just to be able to see them do it on the field and in the classroom. That's what it's all about.
Certainly tough together. And then I actually, right after the game, just to take you back to that moment, because I know it was exciting, emotional, I was able to speak to the 2 graduates, Demisha Russell and Danielle Turner, that graduated and were able to play. Here's their take on being able to complete both journeys in one day.
It's an amazing feeling. Like, I've been praying about it, and just receiving 2 things in one day, especially a degree and a ring, like, words can't explain how to feel. Words really can't explain it.
Like you said, words can't explain. I feel like we have been working for this like our whole life. Like to be able to accomplish it in the classroom and on the field today, like it's probably the best day of my life. Like the best day of college I've ever had in my life on everything. So
how do you kind of take that in as a coach to see that, them realize both of those dreams as a student and an athlete? You know, what does that mean?
Well, I can't stop smiling. I mean, those players have worked hard. They both have their own stories. Danielle has been with me since Darton. I mean, she literally is like a daughter to me. Yeah. So to be able to see her accomplish this and to be with her the whole 4 years, like they said, words can't really describe exactly how you feel. And then Misha, she's been such a huge light for us. Man, she came in, again, she was a part of the old ASU, but she came in ready to work, ready to learn. There was never a shortage of questions from Misha, but she was always trying to get better, and they really busted their tails in the classrooms. And it showed, and just to see them walk across that stage, literally, to wake up that morning, know that we were going to be playing for a conference championship, but wait, let's go to the stadium first. Let's watch these two players at least walk across the stage and remind us what it's all about.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing. As a person that just walked across the stage and didn't win a championship, I know how special that day was.
Yes.
That's something else. Also something else, again, we talked about your journey, was the journey there, and it started off, if anybody looked at your record 13 games into the season, they might have assumed you guys wouldn't have been a team that could win a conference championship.
Right.
You go 2-11 in the first 13 games, many of them at home. But it wasn't that you guys were playing poorly necessarily. You guys had Valdosta State, Lynn College, and Georgia College to start the year off.
Right.
3 series at home, all 3 of them you were swept.
Yep.
What did you learn from your team against those tough non-conference opponents in the early going that made you feel like maybe you had a chance going down the line?
I think what we learned is exactly what you saw, a team that was resilient. We never gave up. And you look at the makeup of our team, and we had a mix of upperclassmen, we had 6 seniors, but we had a mix of freshmen who came in and who started. Their feet were to the fire right away. I mean, we had 4 freshmen starting in that Valdosta series. Yeah. I mean, this is just the way that our season went. So it's not a surprise that some of those same players that got that playing time from the beginning were big factors when it came towards the end of the season, towards the championship and everything. So it looked tough at the beginning, certainly, but that was kind of part of our plan. That's how we designed our season. We want to see better competition because we know what the end goal is. Trust the process. We talk about that. So we had to keep them focused on the goal that was going to be 3 months away, rather than what was happening right there in February when it seemed so tough.
Yeah, definitely so. So from February into May, I want to take a look at that final out in the SIAC championship game, May 5th against the Kentucky State Thoroughbreds. Fans watching close against the gate. Aaron McGowan on the mound, your ace pitcher, who would end up being tournament MVP. A pop fly. Who's that catches it right there? Is that
Demisha Russell?
Demisha Russell, the graduate, the college graduate, the recent college graduate. The final out of the 2018 SIAC championship. Elation across. I'll let you react. Before you do, I want to, since we weren't able to have any players in the studio, most of them are out of town, I want to hear from tournament MVP Aaron McGowan, who threw that pitch for that final out.
Well, coming out of last year and getting third, and it kind of gave you a little bit of a taste, like, oh, well, we can do this. And then coming out here this year and just doing it, makes it that much better.
Your reaction to that, the culmination of it all?
Well, here's the thing. We did not start Aaron that game, if you remember. We had a plan. Kentucky State had not seen Lauren Lowry yet, so we started her. And Lauren did exactly what we needed her to do. We told Aaron she needed to be ready. We told Taylor Clemens she needed to be ready as well. So part of our plan was to start Lauren. If she got in any kind of trouble at all, they started to figure out we were going to make the switch. So when we talk about from the beginning having a pitching staff, we really did. So just to have Aaron come in and do what Aaron's done very well all year was great. I mean, you get a junior there. Again, we talk about somebody who's been with me since Darton, to be able to see just have her have that fire, have that fight, and just really come in clutch. Again, nothing new for her, but to be able to see it on that stage was something that, like they talk about, you dream about.
It was beautiful. You trusted the process, and it worked out. Aaron will be back next year. We'll be back right after this break, and I'm glad that we're able to do this because last time you said You wanted some softball trivia.
I did.
Well, Theo versus everyone, me versus Coach Barker, part 2. Softball trivia coming up, and this is right here, the softball team cheering on the baseball team, which also won the 2018 SIAC championship. We'll see you in a few.
Welcome back to Sports Talk. I am John Barron. I'm here with Theo Dorsey, and of course, the Honorable Coach Amber Barker.
Still my name.
Coach, thank you so much.
It
for
has
joining
changed
us
recently.
Yes, it has apparently.
Almost
with
a year
new
ago,
title
actually.
underneath, actually, with the 2018 SIAC championship underneath your belt, and your 19-0 conference champions softball team.
Yeah.
Coach, I mean that's a huge accomplishment. That was something that no team has done before.
Right.
As far as SCC, I'm sorry, for as far as ASU softball team. So to have that title, to be able to go in history and never have that ever be broken. What does that mean as a coach?
It just means all the work that they've put in all year paid off. I mean, you see 19-0 and you think, great. We weren't running over everybody. I mean, we had to fight for those games. We had a lot of last inning, extra inning wins there, heart pounding really fast innings, but we did it. So I mean, it just is a tribute to, again, the work that they've been putting in since August. When we got there in August, from the gassers test that we did for preseason to the weight room to everything we did to Perfect 21, things that they dread, but it paid off.
Well, let's see if it pays off one more time. Coach, you got the chance to take down Theo. I believe, if my memory serves me right, Theo beat you in the last question when you two played last time. But this time, Coach is going to have a little bit of an edge. We've got softball questions.
I've never played softball.
It's a little hard for me to catch up, man. I mean, I thought baseball would kind of contribute. It did a little bit, but, we'll see. It was a little bit of a different game. All right, so let's get to question number 1.
Okay.
What is a running hit called, a slap hit or a speed hit?
Slap.
That is correct.
I better have gotten that one right since I was a slapper. Thank you.
Slap hit, that is correct.
That's cool.
Coach is up by 1. Question number 2. How many coaches are allowed on the field when your team is at bat?
2.
That is correct.
What? I just guessed.
Wow, no way, man.
Perfect. I was thinking about what I see out there.
I just felt like I had 2 options, and I guessed the right one. He's figuring out this game, guys.
I'm great. Go.
Great. Excitement. Question number 3. How many trips to the mound is a coach allowed before having to switch pitchers? 2 or 4?
Ready.
Question.
4.
That is correct.
Wow, that's a lot of
4.
trips.
Actually, the 4th trip is when you do have to make the switch. You can make 3 up there, but I was just going to say 4 because that is how many trips it is.
Well, that's great.
But that's great. That's correct, John. Good job. Look at that. I'm over here
Third
giving myself-
person, John. This is great.
All
Sports
right.
Talk.
Great. All right, question number 4. This is the last question that you will have. I'm sorry, that was the last multiple choice question. Now this is your first non-multiple choice question.
Perfect.
Question number 4. Just running around in circles. How many players are on the field at one time? I believe that is her.
We're
Even though
talking.
yours went flying.
If we're talking defense, we're talking 9.
That is correct.
Okay, that was okay.
I mean, I guess offense would be 4 because if you want them on base, right?
Oh, good.
yeah.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah.
I was thinking lineup, actual lineup.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because you can have 10.
Well, technically,
no. See,
technically
this
it's
is
just a
what he
batter.
does. He
Technically, there's a
tries
batter there too. So 10 players are on the
This
field.
is what he's saying right here. Did you
You want to be
Yes.
technical?
Exactly.
Technically, I have 3.
Same page. We're on it. Question number 5. Right now, Coach Amber Barker up 3-1.
That's all right.
You're falling behind.
Okay.
Just making sure you understand. Since I'm repeating myself a couple times.
Don't change the energy.
All right. Now, question number 5. How many players are in the infield at one time?
Now, are we counting pitcher
We're
and
counting-
catcher?
Yes.
Okay, 6.
That is correct.
Are we counting batters?
that's-
Because 7.
That would not be your team. Why would I have my team?
He didn't say players on one team.
So I'm going to have my pitcher throw
just
to
said
me.
players.
This
It
isn't
was
coach's
ambiguous.
pitch,
That's all I'm
okay? I'm not
saying.
having my Little League coach go, this is going to be a good one.
All right, this guy's jokes.
Okay.
I'm coming
Wow,
back.
I was just
your
trying to
glass
win.
is almost full. You
was
might have
trying
to
to
start
win.
taking some of his here.
Is that a
soon, all right?
4-1 lead?
That's
I'm coming back.
Don't change your energy.
Yes, it is. Question number 6. How many umpires are there on the field?
Umpires. That was me? We're talking umpires right now? Are we going to talk
Are
about...
you trying to make fun of her or something?
No. Let's go 2.
Because it didn't sound like
Let's
that.
go 2, man.
That is wrong.
Because it's 1.
Because it's
How many?
3.
Because it is 3.
But obviously there's 3. But if we're talking about umpires that are integral to the game...
What?
Are we...
To make sure people understand who has...
All right, you know what? You can have that one.
Her glass is full.
Well,
I'm more of a glass half full type person. I'm an optimist.
Or a glass completely full kind
All
of
right,
person.
and I have a lot of opportunity here,
Okay,
is what they call that. So
here we go.
Not a whole lot of opportunity left. All right, question number 7.
perfect.
What is a short hit called?
Bunt.
That's
Boom.
correct.
What?
I really thought you were
A
gonna hit it
short
and go.
hit?
So we're talking about short hits.
Who? I
calls
don't
it
know
that?
that. What's a short hit?
First of all, that's not.
He got it.
First of
I've
all,
been
First off,
disputing a
I
lot of
believe-
things.
short hit.
That's a hit.
Short hit. All right, next question, please.
She's upset. She's up 5-2, and I'm getting grounded about a short hit.
Wait, I still have a chance to like.
I'm gonna
time.
need the community to call
yeah,
in
you
and
do.
talk about what a short
short
hit
That
is.
is fantastic, and we will have phoners coming next. Question number 8, I believe we are on now. How many innings are there in a regular softball game?
7.
That is correct. You got any balls left? No? Okay, you
I
might have to
guess
start
that-
borrowing.
Well, first of all, that's just
Winner,
That's not
winner.
nice. This next
Chicken
question.
For you, she's
Next
winning.
question. I'm getting this next question.
Okay.
All right? I'm gonna make it look fair.
Question number.
Short hit. Continue.
All right, you're winning. Question number 9, the last one, worth 2 points. Theo, this is for pride. Softball was at one time an Olympic sport until which Olympic Games? And you can either give me the years or me
Okay.
the places.
08.
And?
Huh?
And?
You said London.
Okay, but
2008.
games. There's 2.
The 2008 London Games.
That's the same. Continue.
You
one more.
said they were a sport.
Games, there's plural, meaning I need
You
two.
call it the
I
Olympic
need
Games,
two
though.
games.
All right, so the 2012 then,
Okay.
and 2008.
Okay.
Those
I
two.
mean, he's right, but I mean, it was
Thank
London
you.
and Rio. I just was trying to.
Oh, that's why you.
Come
Yeah.
on.
See, he's trying to.
That is
look at him.
correct. It was London and Rio, but it will be back in 2020 in Tokyo Games. They brought it back in.
Yes.
Perfect.
So,
Respectable.
Coach, you won. Well, yeah, I guess that would
Technically
be
respectable.
I guess that is correct. But guys, don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll be asking a few more questions about the ASU softball team and what we expect in the 2019 season. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Sports Talk. I'm John Barron. He's Theo Dorsey and the Honorable Coach Amber Barker. There you go. I got it right away on
Thank
that
you.
one.
Thank
See?
you.
I promise we know each other. But what we're going to be talking about a little bit more, Coach, is the Commissioner's Cup. Okay, this is the first time in school's history that the men's and the women's have swept in the SIAC. So tell me, as a coach and, seeing your players work hard, and, we even talked a little bit about their GPAs even being the best in your ASU's program, excuse me, to see that from both sides, what does that mean for you as a coach?
When you talk about the Commissioner's Cup and how it's been both the men and women, you see these student athletes every day. You see them going to class. You see them going to practice. You see them with ice on their shoulders or whatever it may be. They're really doing what they need to do. They take this seriously. This is a job for them, but it's also an avenue for them to get through the next stage. So to get that diploma and then go on to what's next in their life. So just to watch them be able to thrive on and off the field, it says a lot. It says a lot about the coaches. It says a lot about our expectations for our players in the classroom and on the field. So just huge to be able to see that.
And then I want to ask you about Palm Beach. Next,
Okay.
after your season was you guys going to the NCAA Division II Regional, and you got to play against some tough opponents, similar to the early season opponents.
Absolutely.
How do you feel like they fared against Palm Beach and VSU and out there at Simpson Field?
See, I know that the score doesn't necessarily reflect, but we were in both of those games. And I don't think our players, and we certainly didn't as coaches, feel like we were outmatched and didn't deserve to be there. Yeah. I think that's the biggest takeaway, is that we felt like we belonged right where we were. Whether the score showed it or not, we were meant to be there.
Of course, and you guys did show up. And I want to ask, how much fun was it to be in Palm Beach as well, to be able to vacation a little bit, maybe after?
I mean, it was fun after, but it was all business beforehand. Yeah. All business beforehand. Now, when we got off the bus, there were some interesting wildlife that we were able to see while we were there, but it was a fun time.
It was a great time. Well, you know what? We're going to talk more about the fun time in the season right after this break, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Sports Talk. Theo Dorsey, John Barron, and Amber Barker of the 2018 SIAC champion Lady Rams. You had two Lady Rams or former players get drafted into the American Softball Association. What's been your experience? What have they kind of learned from that experience so far?
I've talked to May quite a bit since she started playing, so there's some nerves still there, but she's doing well. So trying to get adjusted to being there in Mobile. Tony was on the on-call list, but hopefully she'll still get called up at some point.
Perfect. Well, we'll see what happens with Malia May and Tony Coleman. Both of these two former ASU players. We'll see how they progress their career professionally, and we'll see how the team continues. Continue to watch Albany State softball. Continue to watch Sports Talk. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Have a good night.